Hi, this is Mr. Boughton. I just want to go over these four questions right here, this activity where we're putting some numbers on a number line and we have to figure out where they are. So I just want to go over this with you and show you the answers and how they work out. So number one is asking where would the number one be on this number line? And so this is kind of how I think through this problem. I can see where 0 is, and I can see where one of the numbers here is. So negative 2/3 tells me how this number line is divided up. And the first thing, this is always the first thing we need to know. The first thing we need to figure out is where are the integers? Where's the number 1? And where's the number 2? And where's -1 and -2? So where are these integers on the number line? Before I worry about -1 and 1/3 or anything else, I want to know where the number 1 is and the number 2 and all the other integers. So I'm going to use the clue that's given to us right here. This is -2/3, and I see that this is 2 jumps away, which tells me that this is -1/3. And then each of these little marks right here is marking off thirds. So when we count by thirds, we count 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, like that. And 3/3 is 1. So that means I would count here, this is +1, so I would count 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, and this is where the 1 is, because that is at 3/3. And that is the key to this whole number line, is that we know that we are counting by thirds in either direction. So the next question over here is put a point A at location -1 and 1/3. Well, 1 and 1/3, I'm going to write this over here. 1 and 1/3 is the same as 4/3. And I'm not really caring whether it's positive or negative now. I'm just showing you that 1 and 1/3 is the same as 4/3. So -1 and 1/3 is the same as -4/3. So we can count going in the negative direction, count 4/3. So -1 and 1/3, -1/3, -2/3, -3/3, which is -1 right here, and then -4/3 would be right here. So if I know I'm counting by thirds, then I can just either positive or negative count by thirds to get to where I want to go. If it's -1 and 1/3, make an improper fraction out of it so that we know where to stop. So let's take a look at number 2, 1 and 1/4. So I see 0, and I need some other information. I can't just go by 0 because I need to know what am I counting by every time I see these marks right here. I know -1 is here, and I can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 jumps. So I must be counting by fourths when we make these jumps. So I'm going to go in the positive direction and find out where number 1 is. That's the first step. Where are the whole numbers? So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So this mark right here, that's the number 1, and 1 and 1/4 would just be one more jump after that. So this is going to be 1 and 1/4. That said, they tell us to label that point B, so we're just going to put a B right there. Number 3, it's a little bit harder. I can see 0, and here is our clue right here. This is information that we need to know what are we counting by every time we see these marks. And since this is 2, my first question, this is always the first question, always, is where's 1? And where are the other whole numbers and integers so I can put them on this number line? Then we'll worry about fractions and decimals. So if this is 2, and this is 6 jumps away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that means 3 jumps away is going to be 1. So I'm going to put a 1 right here. And if that's 2, then 1, 2, every 3 jumps is going to be a whole number. Same thing in the negative direction. So 1, 2, 3, that's going to be -1. And 1, 2, 3, that's going to be -2. And 1, 2, 3 is -3. Now that we've got our integers in place, let's answer our question. Negative 1 2/3 is going to go in the negative direction. We're going past negative 1. It's closer to negative 2, so past negative 1, negative 1 1/3, negative 1 2/3. So we would say right here is our point. And finally, number 4 is the last one right here, point A and point B. Where are these locations? So we follow the same questions. So what is the first piece of information we need to figure out? Where is number 1? That's what I need to first figure out. And then we need to figure out, what are we counting by? What are each jump, each mark represents what fraction? So same thing, here's our clue. I know 0 is here and 2 is here. And once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 is 6 jumps away. So 1 is going to be 3 jumps away. So that's going to be 1. So let's start marking things out. Every 3 jumps, that would mean we're counting by thirds. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. 1 1/3, 1 2/3, 6/3, or 1 3/3, or 2, 2 1/3, 2 2/3, 2 3/3. That's going to be 3 right there. And let's go in the negative direction. Negative 1/3, negative 2/3, negative 3/3, which is negative 1. Negative 1 1/3, negative 1 2/3, negative 1 3/3, which is negative 2. And let's count 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And right there, we land on negative 3. So that tells us right there that A is negative 3. And then B is right here. It's right after 3, so it's 1 jump after 3, which means it's going to be positive 1/3 there. And so that is how I work out those problems right there. Bye-bye.